Finally, I get to speak about transgender issues. I've recently started working at the local food bank, working in the warehouse, and I've been thrown again into the company of a group of different people, and in that you very much have to think how you project yourself to people when you meet them for the first time. If you're a reflective person, I suppose you do that quite a lot. And there was a little group of men talking, and we were just chatting, and as it often does in this area, it got to football. Now, I have to confess to you, I don't really have a lot of interest in football. It's not something that particularly presses any buttons with me, but in this area, that's how men communicate. And I think that's true in many places. They immediately start to say, well, what's your team? What are your interests there? And I've suddenly found myself having admitted that I came from the Tottenham area of North London, and you have to select a team to identify with, and so it's always been Tottenham Hotspur for me. And then came the question that you always dread in those situations: why does he keep playing Son when Richarlison's playing so well? And I have one of those moments where your mind just sort of freezes and you glaze over because you're not sure what to say. And fortunately, I was able to sort of blab an answer, for want of a better word. But what I'm doing here is I'm masking my true behaviour, because I don't really have that much interest in the conversation that's going there, but I recognise in the social context in which I'm operating, you have to adopt certain language patterns, certain forms of conversation to help make sense of things as it goes through. We call that masking, and if you study anything like autism or anything like that, you know that's a very common process that people will mask their behaviour to match those around them. If you like, you're not genuinely being yourself, you're adapting something to fit in with what you think you're expected to be like. And that's what masking is. The great Swiss psychologist Carl Jung talks about this, where he speaks about the building up of a persona. And we all do that. All of us, as we go through life, we shape and adapt our outward projection to the world around us. Let me just read you this little extract from Jung here, from his essays on analytical psychology. The persona, Jung says, is a complicated system of relations between individual consciousness and society. Fittingly enough, a kind of mask, designed on the one hand to make a definite impression upon others, and on the other to conceal the true nature of the individual. And Jung's very interested in the nature of the individual. He goes on to say in Archetypes and Collective Unconscious, whoever looks into the mirror of water will see first of all his own face. Whoever goes to himself risks a confrontation with himself. The mirror does not flatter. It faithfully shows whatever looks into it, namely the face we never show to the world because we cover it with the persona, the mask of the actor. But the mirror lies behind the mask and shows the true face. What Jung's saying, and what I'm saying, is then that beneath our outward appearance lies a true and a genuine self. And this process of masking that I'm talking about is something that we all do, and is not to be, in a sense, questioned or criticised. It's something that exists as part of our very nature as social human beings. That's not the problem. The problem is when you have to mask your behaviour in such a way that you will be the victim of discrimination, singling out, maybe even violence, if you fail to adopt the correct mask. And that's what I'm saying about transgender issues. That's what I'd say about racism. That's what I'd say about any form of discrimination. Just to finish with, my best friend at university came out as gay, but she didn't come out at all. She hid it from her family. She projected a mask for many years to her family because she felt unable to do so. And what are we saying about a society where you have to close off who you are in order to socially fit in? Well, okay, I do it, we all do it. It's part of the building of the persona. But when that becomes a destructive thing, when that becomes a harmful thing, that's where you have to cut it off. So when you are discriminating against people because of their gender or because of their sexuality or whatever it may be, you are doing a bad thing. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please like the video. If you have, click on like, make any comments, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Take care.